when we think about fasting, there's different ways that we can apply it. So there's type of fast, there's length of fast, and there's frequency of fasting. So there's a lot of different types of fasting. I'll sort of categorize them as non-caloric liquid fasting. So we talked about this as it relates to PCOS. So things like water and herbal teas, like that's the most aggressive type of fast. There are non-caloric liquid fast. So things like bone broth, or a lot of people will drink
Vegetable.
where you're keeping the calorie content is still, it's a model of caloric restriction, truly. Like you're having, maybe 500, 600 calories, a bulletproof coffee, like the butter coffees, that might be a caloric liquid fast. And then there's like the caloric restriction and the fasting mimetics. So, what's Walter Longo's? I forget the
Fasting
company,
mimicking diet.
but the fasting mimicking diet, and what's this product? Is it Prolon is the name?
Prolon, yeah.
Yeah. So he has a product where I believe it's it's prepackaged foods. I mean, you can do this at home, truly, but a day, like the first day is like, call it 800, 900 calories. And then there's like a stepwise attenuation as the 5 days goes on. So maybe day one, you have like 800 calories, and the second day, 600, 500, 400, et cetera. And you could truly do that with just like avocados at home, but if you want to try his product, that's fine too. So there's fasting mimetics where you're still eating, but you are maybe restricting a macronutrient. So a ketogenic diet is technically also a fasting mimetic because you're restricting the macronutrient carbohydrate. You're restricting carbs. So the way that I like to play with fasting through a woman's cycle, the first week, like I've said a few times, my favorite time to play with fasting if you've never done fasting before, because you're most resilient during that time. If you are a seasoned faster or someone who fasts regularly, you can try to go for a longer period of time. Playing with, if there's like a couple of levers when we think about fasting, like playing with the duration lever. In the second week, I still think it's a great time to fast, but because the testosterone is there, I want to limit the fasting to more of a time restricted eating model. So this is what people call intermittent fasting. It's really, you're eating every day. You're just restricting the hours in which you eat. In week 3, again, now we have this different hormonal landscape. So I like to have more, if you are going to play around with fasting, for this to be a bone broth fast with a caloric liquid fasting. And I only like it to be 24 hours. So again, when we think about, we're pulling sort of two levers, it's the type of fast and the duration of the fast. And for women who suffer from estrogen dominance, this is my favorite type of fast to prescribe for a woman, because she's often feeling bloated. It's like her rings typically don't fit during like that week 3 and week 4. So a caloric liquid fast is still a really nice way for her to be getting calories. And we're giving her, if it's bone broth, she's still getting a certain type of protein, which I'm a big advocate of. But she's also giving her body a chance to, she's giving her gut a chance to rest. And often with women with estrogen dominance, we also see that there's a lot of sluggishness in her detoxification pathways, particularly her, when we're thinking about conjugation, so bringing the intermediate and actually getting rid of it. So this is why I also love, by the way, green leafy vegetables. I know I'm jumping a little bit, but green leafy vegetables, I love this. Love, love, love this for my women with estrogen dominance, because when we think about detoxification, I'm not talking about like a silly juice cleanse. I'm talking about actual detoxification that the liver has a couple of main roles. One of them is like creating glucose. The other is like getting rid of endogenous toxins. So sulforaphanes, which is in those green leafy vegetables, that is a compound that has been shown to upregulate phase 2 detoxification in the liver. So really big fan of bone broth for a woman with estrogen dominance, as well as lots of green leafy vegetables.
Hey, this is Ari. I hope you enjoyed this video. And one more thing before you go. Actually, 2 more things. One is, if you enjoyed this particular little clip, The link to the full-length podcast is in the description down below, so make sure to check that out. Also, one more thing. Let me ask you a question. What if I could show you how to double your energy levels and dramatically improve your brain function, reducing your anxiety and depression to a degree on par with antidepressant drugs, but without the side effects? Sound pretty interesting? Well, there are, in fact, numerous compounds that can do this, that have been shown to do this. And I'll take you through just a few of these very briefly. One of them is rhodiola rosea. And this has been shown in studies, rhodiola rosea extract, in people with stress-related fatigue and exhaustion to cut their levels of fatigue and brain fog in half in less than a month. Just this one compound. There's another compound in my formula Energenesis called NT factor phospholipids that's been shown to help repair mitochondrial membranes and mitochondrial health to the level of healthy 29-year-olds, taking people with deteriorated mitochondria who are over the age of 65, restoring it to the level of healthy 29-year-olds. And that has been shown in numerous studies in various types of chronic fatigue, aging-associated chronic fatigue, obesity-related chronic fatigue syndrome, to increase energy levels by 30 to 45% in the span of 4 to 12 weeks, depending on the specific study. So dramatic improvements in a very, very short period of time. Two more compounds that are amazing, I highly recommend, that are in my formula Ultra Brain, along with rhodiola rosea. Saffron extract. This has been shown to increase levels of, improve your mood, I should say, and decrease levels of depression on par with fluoxetine, which is Prozac. And not only that, but with fewer side effects. It's much safer and much less likely to cause negative effects than antidepressant drugs are. Acetyl L-carnitine is another compound that's been shown to dramatically improve brain health in older adults. It also improve energy levels in older adults with chronic fatigue by between 40 to 50% in just the span of 2 to 4 months. And the last thing I'll mention here is acetyl L-carnitine has also been compared to antidepressant drugs and been shown, like saffron, to be as effective as antidepressant drugs in combating depression, but without the harmful side effects that so often occur with the drugs. So this is just a small sampling of the over 35 compounds that are in my formulas Energenesis and Ultra Brain that are all proven to dramatically improve energy levels, mitochondrial health, and brain health, and much, much more. And I highly recommend that you go check these out. If you're struggling with depression or anxiety or brain fog, if you're struggling with stress-related exhaustion and burnout, if you're struggling with chronic fatigue, go check out these formulas, give them a shot. I promise you are going to be blown away by the results. And like I said, the science has already proven that these things work. So you don't have to just take my word for it. There's lots of research to support that, and I'll even link to some of that research down below so you can verify everything that I just said for yourself. So the links to those studies will be in the description for this video down below. So check them out. Check out the formulas on theenergyblueprint.com. Again, Energenesis is the mitochondrial formula, and Ultra Brain is our brain formula. Check them out, try them out, and I think you're going to be blown away by the results. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you again soon.